Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 4. So this is going to be my trailer breakdown for the mid-season finale or episode 9 of The Flash, otherwise entitled Don't Run. So obviously before I get into the rest of the video, let's actually watch the trailer.
Hello, Mr. Allen.
DeVoe, he took Barry.
Where's my son?
Has he gone missing?
He's not missing. He was taken.
I'm here for a reason. Why?
The lesson for today is simple. There are no happy endings.
If you hurt him, if you put a hand on him!
His body may be human.
DeVoe!
His brain
DeVoe!
smarter than yours.
DeVoe!
Flash, mid-season finale this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
So last episode, excluding the crossover, which was awesome, but excluding the crossover, we had episode 7, which was a big Clifford DeVoe episode, where obviously we learned essentially how Clifford DeVoe went from just being Clifford DeVoe into now present day being the Thinker. And we saw some pretty crazy stuff and his connections to various events in the past and things that are happening in the present day, such as the metahuman bus incident. But obviously, before we get into the breakdown of this trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis for this episode, as it does give us some information that isn't really hinted at in the trailer, so it is pretty interesting to go over. But obviously, let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode, and if you think we'll get any cliffhangers, seeing this is a mid-season finale. And of course, if you're going to enjoy it, be sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Ammunet kidnaps Caitlin and puts meta dampener handcuffs on her to keep her from turning into Killer Frost. Ammunet tells Caitlin she needs her to perform a tricky medical task, and if Caitlin fails, Ammunet will kill her. Meanwhile, the Thinker traps the Flash in a speeds-to-proof prison. With the clock ticking, the team doesn't have the time or resources to track both Caitlin and Barry, so Iris is forced to choose who to save. So just quickly to focus on something that isn't in the trailer, all about the Ammunet stuff. So Ammunet's going to have to kidnap Caitlin to get her to do something and perform a medical task on someone. We don't really know if it is Ammunet that she's performing it on, or say a very prized metahuman that works for Ammunet. So it's going to be interesting to find out who Caitlin is operating on. But obviously we did meet Ammunet Black or Blacksmith back in episode 5, I think it was, which was Girls Night Out. I think it was episode 5 we met when Felicity came to town. We had the Hens Night and the Bachelor Party, so we met her back then. I wasn't really expecting her to appear until maybe, you know, further into the season, but we're getting her in the mid-season finale, and hopefully we get some more really cool Killer Frost moments, because in the crossover, we had some really cool Killer Frost moments, so hopefully they expand on that in this episode and we do see something pretty damn cool. But the first thing to talk about from the trailer is that we actually see the Thinker, or Clifford DeVoe, on the streets of Central City. You can see like the shop windows and shop lights and stuff in the background. So what I'm assuming happens here is that he must encounter Barry on the streets as Barry. So it's Barry and Iris, because you do see Iris run into Star Labs just after saying, oh, DeVoe's got Barry, and stuff like that. So I think the reason for this, and for like DeVoe encountering Barry on the streets, is so Barry can't just, you know, be the Flash, because a lot of people would be there. You know, a floating guy in a chair is, you know, going to attract some attention, so a lot of people would be looking in that area. So Barry wouldn't be able to just speed off because people would notice. So I think Barry's, you know, got him in a corner, and DeVoe's able to trap him and take him back to his place, which a bit creepy, but DeVoe must have some plan for him. Now we do get a quick shot of Ralph. Actually, we get a couple shots of Ralph in this trailer just quickly, like on the side and stuff like that. So Ralph is back in this episode. I know 27 million people were asking, where the hell is Ralph Dibny in this crossover? It was really weird that he was excluded, but now he's back for the regular Flash episodes. So I guess it's pretty good to see him back. And I'm excited to see if they do anything with him. Maybe he goes out and helps to try and get Barry with his stretchy arms and stuff like that. But at least it's good to have Ralph back, and they might tease at his future suit or something like that. The next part of the trailers to talk about are actually when we see Barry Allen himself waking up in DeVoe's lair, like the place we've seen like since episode 1, where DeVoe does a lot of his thinking activities. Now, the big question around this is, why does, you know, the DeVoe have the Flash? Like, why did he take him? Why does he have him trapped in this room and stuff like that? And we do get a sort of like a hint at it when we do see the mechanic, or DeVoe's wife, looking at this screen. It does have a lot of symbols popping up, which do look relatively familiar to the ones that Barry was writing on the walls and on his cell and stuff and everywhere once he escaped the Speedforce in episode 1. Now, in the previous episode, in episode 7, we did see like a shot of DeVoe writing on a whiteboard, or on a chalkboard, might I say, not a whiteboard, on a chalkboard, and they did look very similar, or certain things of what he was writing on there look similar to what Barry had been writing back in episode 1. So I've been saying for a while, and I think a lot of people have been saying this as well, that there is going to be some connection between what Barry was writing and what DeVoe's trying to do. Because as we know, DeVoe's trying to, enter the age of enlightenment. I think that's what he was calling it. And I think this language or these symbols that Barry was writing are like, a puzzle piece to what DeVoe is trying to achieve. So I think this is one thing that DeVoe needs from Barry, might I say. But I think there are some other things that they might hint at in this episode that will be delved into further once we get further into the season, once we get back from this mid-season break. Now, we actually do see Joe going to DeVoe's house because obviously Iris had come in earlier and said DeVoe's got Barry. So obviously Joe's going to go to DeVoe's house. Weird that he's going by himself. So Joe's definitely feeling a bit confident now. But unless he's doing it under the guidance of CCPD, like they know he's going there. So if anything happens to Joe, DeVoe would become like the #1 suspect. So maybe he's got some protection there. But it does seem that DeVoe is now using Joe's life as almost like a bargaining chip with Barry. Like, oh, okay, you do this, you do what I want you to do, and we'll spare Joe's life. So that's what it seems like they're going with. It is actually an important thing to note that this is actually the Christmas episode of The Flash, and there always seems to be like a West family member in danger at Christmas time. So I wonder if there'll be like a joke about that. But yeah, so for those that didn't know, without, if you didn't see the surroundings of what's going on in this trailer, there's a lot of Christmas trees. This is the Christmas episode because obviously there won't be we'll be on break during Christmas. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of Christmas things going on. So it should be a cheery episode mixed in with a thinking episode because DeVoe's little actions throughout it. Now, we do actually see Cisco trying to vibe and getting rejected, which I think is actually really smart. Like, it is very smart because, it'd be a major weakness of the Thinker if Cisco could easily get into his brain and certain things like that. So the fact that Cisco is getting rejected, and it looks like he's getting rejected really damn heavily, I think is awesome. So I wonder if the Thinker's going to be able to sense that Cisco is in his brain and just like reject him completely, or maybe make Cisco see things, like see other things that he doesn't want to. Like that would be pretty awesome if they went down that road and just make that route, might I say, and just shows how powerful Clifford DeVoe is. And I do wonder if it might take Cisco out of commission for a bit, like it might just knock him out for a bit and maybe stop him from vibing, but we'll have to wait and see. But it's pretty cool that Cisco is getting rejected here. Like Cisco is pretty powerful, but even he can't get into the Thinker's mind. Now in this trailer, we do actually get a quick shot of the Jitters glass, like the glass at the front of Jitters being like blown inwards into the shop. Now, I think we can all assume what's happening here because we do get a shot of Caitlin like in Jitters looking a bit shocked. I think we can all assume that this is going to be either Amunet or maybe an employee or a servant or a metahuman of Amunet coming to collect Caitlin and just saying basically what's said in the synopsis, like, yo, come with us, if you don't, you're going to die. So basically, I think that's what they're saying. But this scene actually also connects to a scene we sort of referenced earlier when we were talking about the fact that Ralph is going to be back in this episode, because in Jitters, we can see that Caitlin is actually having a coffee with Harry. And if we go back to that shot with Ralph before, or Ralph like on the left-hand side, you don't see him too well, but a bit of Ralph, you can actually see that Harry has an ice pack to his head. So I'm assuming this is straight after what happens at Jitters, and Harry's just been knocked out by whoever came to get Caitlin, which makes me think it might not have been Blacksmith. It might have been a bit of a muscly person, but we'll have to wait and see. But the fact that Harry is, holding his ice pack as Iris ran in and said, DeVoe's taken Barry, DeVoe's taken Barry. It does seem like this opening part of this episode is going to be pretty jam-packed, like maybe a lot of Christmas shopping. And so Caitlin's going to get taken by Amunet and Barry's going to get taken to DeVoe probably in like the first 5 to 10 minutes of this episode. So it's going to be a pretty action-packed opening. So it is going to be pretty interesting to see Ralph, Iris, and Harry working together, because I think it's only going to be them three, because if we go back to the fact that Cisco tried to vibe and got rejected, he might be taken out for a decent portion of this episode and might not be able to help. Or might be a bit like groggy and, not all be there. So they might think, okay, Cisco, sit this one out for a bit, and it'll just be Ralph, Iris, and Harry. So that's going to be an interesting team to see play out. I think it's going to be funny and just going to be interesting because it's a different dynamic. Those three characters working together, so I'm looking forward to that. But we also do get the shot of Barry using his speed in like DeVoe's sort of like environment. And I find this a bit weird because in the synopsis, it does say that the Thinker traps the Flash in a speedster-proof prison. Now, maybe this is a different part, so maybe this is after Barry gets let out of that, or maybe the speedster-proof prison is the actual environment that Devoe's in, like that little lair thing. So maybe Barry can use his speed within it. He just can't like run through the walls. He can't vibrate through the walls and stuff like that. So maybe that's what they mean by speeds to prove prison. He just can't get out of it. Because I think in season 2, when he's in like Zoom's prison, he could use his speed in the side of the cell. He just couldn't get through it. Or it was like because of the different frequencies, he couldn't get through it. So maybe that's what they're going for here. And yeah, so maybe, I'm assuming that's what they're going for here. Maybe the actual environment, Barry can use his speed, he just can't actually run out of it. But in regards to Barry and Devoe in this environment, I'm just looking forward to seeing Barry interact with the Thinker, because we did get a tease of it at the end of last episode, or episode 7 might I say, the episode before the crossover, when Devoe's in university and just basically unleashes all of his information to Barry. Says, you know, I know you're the Flash. And he just basically unveils everything to Barry, because it just shows that the Thinker is that confident in himself that he thinks he won't lose to the Flash. So I want to see that evolve in this episode, and because it's a mid-season finale, I am expecting a lot of big things to happen. Maybe a cliffhanger or two, maybe around Killer Frost. That'd be pretty cool as well. Or maybe even Ralph Dibny. Maybe Ralph might learn another ability of his, or he might get a suit. Who knows? But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully you guys are as well. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support for the video and the channel as a whole. Let me know in the comments section down below. What are you looking forward to most in this episode? Is it Killer Frost? Is it seeing Ralph, Iris, and Harry working together? Because I think that could be a pretty funny dynamic and just a bit different. So let me know what you're looking forward to most in this episode in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.